It is time for some original Xbox passion. Welcome Xbox fans and everybody else that wants to get into the original Xbox in 2023. Today we're going to be diving into my Xbox collection, which you may have a better one, but you might not. I've got some decent games, but there's one game in particular that I really want, and I'm umming and ahhing, as we say here in the UK, on the price, but it will complete my trilogy of said game. So I'll reveal that in a short while. Whilst we're here, guys, I just want to say thank you for watching and brace yourselves, because it's about to get green. As this video is about original Xbox games that changed my life, I thought I would share my personal memories of said games, beginning with Halo Combat Evolved. I was in my first year at university. It would have been 2001 going into 2002, and it was my neighbour, Civek, mentioned him before, that managed to secure an original Xbox with this game. And I remember going round and him literally like sat on his two-seater sofa just laughing. Not because it was funny, but because it was just pure shock on how good this game actually looked. And I remember being like, wow, the original Xbox looks absolutely ugly as F compared to like the likes of PlayStation 2, which I had played previously. But this kind of blew my mind the more I sat there, and the more I was like, wait a minute, you could drive in these vehicles across this cool terrain and shoot absolutely everything. Graphically, it was flawless as well, and I always remember feeling kind of blown away at how simple it was and how easy it was and palatable it was to really get into this. And until now, since Doom, I think, going into the Halo era, we've not really seen an FPS as good as this. Burnout 3 Takedown was another game that I played first on the OG Xbox, and it was my auntie and at the time my very little nephew that we used to kind of sit down together and play through this. And what blew me away was this whole kind of slow motion crashing, just flying through the air and trying to get points from crashing. I mean, typically in a racing game, if you crash, it hinders you, whereas this actually gave you perks and, rewarded you for crashing. So that really blew me away. And I remember this one particular night when me, my cousin Jake and my auntie Liz sat up we were on a 3-seater leather black sofa playing this CRT, really close to the CRT, and we were just laughing. I don't even remember, we were laughing at things that weren't even related to the video game, but when I play this, it takes me back to that moment, so it's that really nice association to the nostalgia. And for me, you can relive memories like that through video games. Burnout 3 holds a massive place in my heart, and I'm very fond of that time and those memories. It's a great game. Bit of a weird one really with Doom 3, because I actually remember back in the day not really liking this game, because I still feel that it doesn't hold true to my experiences of Doom 1 and 2 and Final Doom on the PC, PS1, Super Nintendo. I mean, all of the consoles and home computers that I'd already played Doom on. This didn't really feel like Doom. But my memory was this. I was living in the Lake District, and there was a guy called Alex that used to work in a shop that I worked at. He unpacked all of the gear on a Wednesday, and he just picked up Doom 3 on his original Xbox, and at the time I had a PlayStation 2 Slim, and I had quite a few games. I couldn't afford barely anything back then. I must have earned about £700 a month back in 2005, really low paid jobs, and I really wanted to play this. He spoke about it and he made it tangible for me, so I decided to take my PlayStation 2 with maybe 20-30 games to the local second-hand shop in Kendal. I was living in Kendal in the Lake District at the time, and I traded the entire thing in for a brand new original Xbox and a copy of Doom. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like excited but disappointed at the same time. But as looking back now, I do feel very fond of that and grateful to Alex. Prince of Persia Sands of Time, again, first ever played a Prince of Persia game on an original Xbox, and this would have been around 2007, 2008 for me, and it was with my ex-girlfriend. She was Xbox, I was PlayStation, so I really began to explore the PlayStation library through her, and this was one of those games that we used to sit down and just drink about 20 cups of tea. Like, we'd just drink so many cups of tea and play this game, and we spent days and days and hours on this in between shifts at work. So I really did fall in love with the trilogy, and it obviously opened up that world of Prince of Persia. And then I remember the Prince of Persia game coming out on the PS3, because we'd moved to PS3 at that time later down the line, and it was because of this game really that, you know, really got me into Prince of Persia, and I genuinely hope we see a new Prince of Persia game soon. It's wicked. So Halo 2 was the first original Xbox game that I ever played online, and I want you to think about your time with a video game and think about the games that you pulled all-nighters on. Can you remember them? I want you to name them in the comments. Which games have you played throughout the entire night? And before you know it, the sun is rising, people are getting up for work and the birds are chirping. Well, for me, that was Halo 2. And again, played this a lot with my ex-girlfriend, kind of thriving on caffeine and junk food back then. You know, we would kind of take it in turns where you can't kind of couch co-op simultaneously, but you can couch co-op in turn. So it kind of really set my tone for what online gaming could do. And then of course I moved on to Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 on the PlayStation 3 many years later, but I owe a lot to this experience. And of course, as having played Halo Combat Evolved, is very much in that vein. You can kind of plough through the single player, but for me this is more about back then what was the online stuff. I think it still looks good by today's standards, not online but the game, and I'd love to see Halo 2 come back online in some form. If you know me or you've been watching the channel, you'll know how much Half-Life 2 actually changed my life and got me through some dark times. I haven't raised it in this video, but I wanted to have it as a little segue to say that I don't want to regurgitate this story again, because there's lots of people here that have heard it lots of times, and if you haven't, I'll link this video from 4 years ago when my teeth were definitely not as straight. You can skip to the Half-Life 2 part and you can hear me tell the story about when I purchased this in Asda. A myriad of different original Xbox consoles. Of course, we had Halo. There were so many good things about the original Xbox generation that really gave the PlayStation 2 a run for its dosh. But what about emulating on the original Xbox? Because let's face it, that machine is pretty popular by today's standards if you want to go down your bootleg emulation route. It was at this point in the video that I was going to boot up this original Xbox Crystal and show you what's on my hacked Xbox, but unfortunately it stopped working. I would suggest going to check out Modern Vintage Gamer's channel, as he covers a lot of Xbox soft mod, guides, tutorials, reviews, etc. This is a really good channel if you are honed in particularly to the tech side of retro games rather than listening to me speak from the heart. That doesn't mean to say that I don't want you to subscribe, of course. You can subscribe to me and Modern Vintage Gamer and have the best of both worlds, but you need to check out this video, which I will link in the description. Whilst emulation isn't my first choice of how to play a video game, I've said it before that I really do appreciate its cultural importance in preserving video games. But I do love my physical collection, so let's take a look at mine. My original Xbox collection does need a lot more love, and I wanted to take you through some of these games, and weirdly, since I have filmed and edited this, I've actually got more games in my collection. So if you head over to my Discord, I'll pop them in there as to what I've actually picked up. I spent about 20 quid in CX as I was passing the other day and picked up some really nice titles. So in here there's a mixed bag really. We've got some Star Wars, Shenmue 2, I think I'm missing the DVD on that, but I think I've got some of the decent titles. Now I mentioned in the introduction that I want a third game to a trilogy, and that is actually this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trilogy. It's actually this game right here, which can go from hundreds to maybe £140 depending on condition, so kind of umming and ahhing, but that is my Xbox original collection. So I really am considering this third Turtles game. I'm a huge Turtles fan. It's no surprise with my tattoo. There's a short out there if you want to go find that. I absolutely love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Hero Turtles, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes people roast me for saying either or, but nonetheless, I do need to find a nice sealed copy of that game. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. Let me know what some of your original Xbox favorite titles are, and if you can add any value to mine with your recommendations, you know what to do. But for now, I would ask that you subscribe and leave a like. If you're kind enough, share that video out into the ether. But for now, have a good one. My name is Gemma, take care, and I will see you soon. Soon I will see you. Goodbye. I need a few seconds of your time to tell you about channel memberships. If you guys want to become a channel member, click join from the main page or the second link in the description. There are 3 tiers, all with different perks for you if you want to become a team member. Thanks for your time. Let's continue with the video.